Okay, so good morning again to everyone, and thank you for joining us for this our book launch or publication launch. And we are very happy that you chose to be with us today. To begin our activities here today, we just like to ask you to stand with us as we open up in the word of prayer. Thank you very much. Oh, Father, we thank you today for your presence. We thank you for gracing us with your presence here today. We welcome your presence here with us. And we thank you for everyone who has joined us in this event, this book launch event, as we have come to celebrate the activities that have been taking place under the Kaledina project. We thank you, Lord God, for your presence here today. We thank you for guiding every thought and every activity. We just thank you for your divine intervention throughout this event today. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Thank you all. Please be seated. It is my pleasure to really not welcome you, because we're going to do that officially, although I want to welcome you, yes. But we're really happy that you turned out, all of those who have made it possible to be here today, and to celebrate with us as we culminate some of the activities that we had under the value chain exercise that was supported by CROSSQ. That's the CARICOM Regional Organization for Standards and Quality. And as we go along, you'll hear a lot more about this project. But today, to officially welcome all of you, all our very esteemed guests, I'd like to call Ms. Mara Abraham. That's the officer in charge at the Dominica Bureau of Standards, to do that.
Honorable Roland Rouet, Minister of Agriculture, Fisheries, Blue and Green Economy. Honorable Lakier Joseph, Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Blue and Green Economy with responsibility for agro-processing. Mr. Ryan Anselm, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Blue and Green Economy. Mr. Nicholas Esprit, Chairperson of the Dominica Export-Import Agency Board of Directors. Ms. Paula Plasco, General Manager of the Dominica Export-Import Agency, DEXIA. Dr. Alexis Valky, International Quality Infrastructure Expert and Consultant for PTB. Ms. Latoya Burnham, Technical Officer, Quality Promotions, CARICOM Regional Organization for Standards and Quality, CROSSQ. Dr. Ian Lambert, Project Coordinator, Cocoa Bean to Tea Value Chain. Ms. Nikez McShine, Editor of this publication. Invited guests, good morning. Today, we gathered here to celebrate the publication of a publication titled Promoting Quality, the Cocoa Bean to Tea Value Chain. This publication is a culmination of a long journey embarked on we, the stakeholders in the cocoa value chain. Kaledina is a process developed by the German Metrology Institute, PTB, as a participatory approach to bring stakeholders along the value chain together. The process aims to seek to address challenges and gaps in quality services in a particular value chain. The Bureau of Standards attempted to use this approach many years ago on the hot pepper value chain. While not as successful, we were encouraged to engage in the process again. And so we did. We decided to try again under the technical barriers to trade component of the 11th EDF CARICOM Regional Indicative Program Economic Partnership Agreement Program titled Support to CARIFORUM States in Furthering the Implementation of Their Economic Partnership Agreement Commitments and in Meaningfully Reaping the Benefits of the Agreement, which was being implemented by the CARICOM Regional Organization for Standards and Quality and PTB. This commenced in 2019. This time, the focus was on cocoa. Cocoa was chosen because of the number of initiatives being undertaken in the sector at that time. At the time, the government of Dominica had invested significantly in the cocoa sector as a priority crop and had started the rehabilitation process. Additionally, Dexia had commenced work on the development of the Cocoa Cluster Development Plan, which included consultation with a broad stakeholder base. In light of this ongoing work, it was felt that we could use the CALIDINA process in this sector, and it would greatly assist in streamlining the focus of that particular value chain. Today, we are here to celebrate one of the milestones of this project, the publication of the booklet on work that was done. And it is my task to officially welcome you here to this celebration. So, on behalf of the Dominica Export-Import Agency and the Dominica Bureau of Standards, I extend a hearty welcome to all our collaborators, which include, but is not limited to, our parent ministry, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, International Business, Trade and Energy, the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, the Blue and Green Economy, our regional and international partners, representatives of academia, stakeholders along the value chain, which includes our farmers and our agro-processors, members of the media, and well-wishers. Your presence here is greatly appreciated. It is invaluable, and it is most certainly welcomed. Please join us in celebrating this momentous achievement as we forge together to continue the development of the cocoa sector and agriculture as a whole. Once again, welcome.
Thank you very much, Ms. Abraham, for your warm words of welcome to every one of us. It is really a pleasure for us to, like I said, to have all of you gathered in one room. And it's nice to see that we have farmers, we have agro-processors, we have people from academia, some of the agencies that work closely with Dexia and the Bureau, plus, like she said, our parent ministries, the Ministry of Agriculture and also the Ministry of Trade represented here today. As we move along, we are going to hear from CROSSQ. As we said, CROSSQ is the CARICOM Regional Organization for Standards and Quality, and they were the lead agency for this actual project. And so we're going to hear from one of the technical officers. The CEO could not be with us this morning, but we have with us Ms. Latoya Burnham. She is Technical Officer for Quality Promotions, and so we'll hear from her at this point.
Good morning to you. Protocols having been observed, I bring you greetings today on behalf of the CARICOM Regional Organization for Standards and Quality, CROSSQ, particularly CEO Mr. Derek Omar, who unfortunately is on travel duty and could not be with us today. I bring greetings as well on behalf of the 11th European Development Fund, Economic Partnership Agreement, Technical Barriers to Trade Program. CROSSQ is the network of national standards bodies within the CARICOM region, and its secretariat is based in Barbados, with the board of directors comprising the heads of the national standards bodies. CROSSQ's mission is to work together to facilitate the growth, resilience, and sustainable development of the Caribbean community through the advancement of an internationally recognized regional quality infrastructure. CrossQ was created with a mandate to facilitate trade, enhance efficiency in the production and delivery of goods and services, improve the quality of goods and services traded within the community and third states, and also for consumer and environmental protection. All of this is done from a platform of improving standards and quality infrastructure within member states. The innovation that has resulted in today's launch of this publication should and must be lauded because it not only symbolizes the culmination of a successful initiative of this 11th EDF TBT program, but also because of the dedication to quality that it represents for us in the region. The TBT component of the 11th EDF EPA program was centered around the primary idea of creating opportunities where the region could fully reap the benefits of the EU CARIFORUM Economic Partnership Agreement. It aimed to do so by addressing three main challenges: closing the quality-related gaps in key value chains, sectors, and organizations, strengthening the QI pillars of standards development, metrology, accreditation, conformity assessment, and quality promotions, and finally, to communicate the value of QI throughout CARIFORUM states. In Dominica's case, this cocoa value chain intervention was pivoted around addressing that first challenge, closing quality gaps that might exist in the value chain between the raw product and its manufactured end product. The CALADINA methodology used was developed by our long-standing partners, the German National Metrology Institute, or PTB, and is one wherein value chains and quality interventions meet in the most synergistic relationships to provide solutions to identified challenges. What this means is that this method of bringing partners in an identified value chain together with the quality services that can aid in the strengthening of both the end product as well as the entire process is the kind of intervention of which we have seen the benefits. Under this program, we have had value chain interventions of this kind in the Bahamas, Trinidad and Tobago, the Dominican Republic, Jamaica, Belize, and of course here in Dominica. In the case of the Bahamas and Trinidad and Tobago, following the rigorous feasibility study that precedes the dialogues, which are in turn part of the CALADINA implementation to ensure the viability of the value chain with enough national interest and stakeholder participation to see it through to an advanced stage, it was determined that these two did not have enough national interest to proceed. The process of the other four, however, were national successes. In each case, the value chain was chosen by the country, ranging from coconut in the Dominican Republic to black castor oil in Jamaica, LPG in Belize, and finally cocoa in Dominica. For these value chain discussions, we brought together the principal partners and stakeholders in these vital industries to discuss their quality-related issues, and also alongside the National Quality Infrastructure Agency, which is the National Bureau of Standards, we worked to provide solutions for those challenges. Out of each of these interventions came action plans, for which countries were then provided the opportunity to implement with funding from the project. Dominica's intervention, with the assistance of PTB-appointed consultant Dr. Alexis Valky, has seen the development of the first such CALADINA publication from within the CrossQ network. Edited by Ms. Nikisi McShane, the Promoting Quality in the Cocoa Bean and Tea Value Chain, Cocoa for National Market, Tourism, and Regional Export in the Commonwealth of Dominica publication is a landmark for all of us. Not only has Dominica recorded a successful cocoa value chain engagement, but you have recorded those successes and results in a manner that is now available for the benefit of all. The many stakeholders within this value chain in the region can see for themselves what goes into the production and the manufacture of quality cocoa products, in this case, tea. The publication also clearly outlines the way forward for this vital local industry. And we at CrossQ look forward to hearing so much more about your successes in addressing the quality issues identified. We know for certain that the Dominica Bureau of Standards National Center for Testing Excellence has already been making strides to supply solutions for some of the quality-related testing needs identified, and we stand ready to assist however and wherever we can. The strengthening of this national quality infrastructure service presents an opportunity for both national and regional interest. It is results like this that make the work that we do worthwhile. The Caledina interventions have uncovered several aspects within these critical export value chains that need to be addressed. It gives us information we can then use to address these challenges from the farm, so to speak, to the table, or in this case, to the market. The value of these interventions is more than spelled out in this publication, which brings into sharp focus how seriously Dominica feels about its cocoa. It would be remiss of us, however, if we did not single out the national partners like the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, and the Blue and Green Economy, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, International Business, Trade, and Energy, and of course, DEXIA, the Dominica Export-Import Agency, who gave of resources, time, and most importantly, interest in seeing this initiative through to a successful conclusion. We know the work does not end here. And this is why CrossQ continues to give its support for initiatives such as this that strengthen the products we push from the Caribbean to the world. I thank you sincerely for the few minutes granted to us to say a few words, and also say thanks to the European Union, CARIFORUM, PTB, and INDOCAL, our partners in this 11th EDF EPA TBT program. And I also say thanks to the Dominica Bureau of Standards for the leadership we've seen in this initiative through to the end. Thank you and congratulations on a magnificent publication.
All right, thank you so much, Miss Burnham. And you heard it from her, all the details. She gave quite a bit of detail in terms of the whole project, so I think we have a better understanding of what was involved in it and the contributions that were made from Dexter's standpoint, from the Bureau's standpoint, as well as CrossQ and the persons involved. So later on, we're going to move along, and you'll be hearing from some of the key players or partners within this value chain exercise. And to lead us off in this, we want to listen to Dr. Ian Lambert from our very own from Dominica. He was the coordinator of the cocoa bean to tea value chain exercise here in Dominica. And that included a number, I don't know how many of you, I don't remember if I see anybody who was involved in the chain in that exercise in the room right now, but I know we had farmers, we had persons from the agro-processing sector, and we also had DEXIA, the Bureau, the Ministry of Agriculture, and all the various agencies were also part of that exercise. So hats off to all of you who were involved, and this publication really is the culmination of, we talk about this publication all the time, and I don't think I've shown it, but this is it. This is the publication, and you'll be seeing more of that because we have copies for the various agencies and individuals, key individuals who were part of the exercise. So it's very nicely done, and as Ms. Burnham said, there's a wealth of information. There's loads of information in there regarding the value chain and also the work that has taken place in cocoa in Dominica. So we're going to call up, we'll ask Dr. Lambert right now to give us some brief remarks as project coordinator for this value chain exercise.
Greetings and good morning to all government officials present, colleagues from the DEXIA, the Dominica Bureau of Standards, CrossQ, IECA, other institutions, and all stakeholders. I wish to share with you a few words on my Calidina experience, culminating with the official presentation of the Cocoa Bean to Tea publication today. My journey began with official training in the Calidina methodology. Then a feasibility study was done on the selected value chain, followed by a kickoff workshop, out of which derived an action plan for implementation. The action plan focused primarily on quality infrastructure requirements with respect to 1. Standardization of the weights of the cocoa sticks, conformity assessment testing with respect to domestic, regional, and international requirements for those sticks, the development of standards and codes of practice for use in the cocoa industry in general. I sincerely hope that the publication captures all that we set out to do with regard to that project, and I hope that it will be used throughout the industry by all stakeholders. Finally, I would like to thank those who helped me along the way, including Dr. Alexis Valky, my mentor in the Calidina methodology, Dr. Sabine Grenier of PTB, the CrossQ family, and all other stakeholders who supported me along the road to this important project. Thank you, and I look forward to working with you in the future as we continue to develop the cocoa industry as a whole. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Lambert. All right, again, you can see that the persons who have been speaking so far have been very passionate about this whole exercise, and I think myself, as part of the value chain exercise, I was quite impressed with what went on. And from Dexia's standpoint, coming from the cocoa cluster work that was done previously, we were very happy to serve on that value chain committee as well. And we are really looking forward to. I am very passionate personally about cocoa and what it involves and what cocoa has done in Dominica and how it has evolved in Dominica. And I'm looking forward to greater things for that particular crop and for that sector. To tell us a little more, again, we have another person from the committee that helped us, and that's the editor for the publication. And I always have difficulty pronouncing her first name, but it's Nkise, I think it is, Macshine. So she's the editor for the publication, and she just wants to share a few words with us.
Good day, congratulations, and welcome to Promoting Quality in the Cocoa Bean to Tea Value Chain in Dominica book launch, which showcases the cocoa cluster and Calidina experience. As editor of this publication, I was given the task to produce a vision of the publication team by capturing the importance of all the stakeholders involved in each part of the value chain, cocoa bean to tea. That is, from preparation of seedlings to the exportation, and how each step plays a vital role in the final product manufactured for consumers locally and internationally. This booklet highlights the best practices, regional standards, and quality infrastructure that has been developed and that is or should be utilized in the production of high-quality cocoa beans, as well as the work that is still in progress, along with its future plans for the sustainability of this project. It was my honor in producing such a comprehensive document and working with the publication team that included PTB, Dexter, and the Dominican Bureau of Standards. Congratulations on a job well done. Hats off to you and the launch.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. McShine. Ms. McShine actually is an MPhil student at the University of West Indies in Trinidad, and she's actually from the Department of Physics, I think it is, yes. And she was really very helpful in the editing and all of that work that was involved. And she gave her time freely to this, and we really appreciate the effort and the contribution. One of the very key persons on that team was Dr. Valky, Dr. Alexis Valky. He's of Spanish descent, but we got a lot of information from him, wealth of information from this man, and the team actually gelled together so nicely as we continued the preparation for the publication, as well as working on the value chain itself. And he has some remarks to give to us today, so we would like to hear from Dr. Alexis Valky, who is actually the infrastructure or international quality infrastructure expert with PTB, that's the German National Quality Organization, and he's also a consultant with that group. So let's hear from Dr. Valky at this time.
Dear authorities and dear participants, also from my side, I want to welcome you to this launch event. Lamentably, from far away, as I am on mission in Mexico. I want to congratulate the Dominica Bureau of Standards and the Dominica Export Agency for this excellent publication. But not only for this publication, I want to congratulate them for the joint Calidena experience, which is the basis of this publication. As a result of the Calidena process, the Calidena Action Plan has been elaborated. This plan addresses the development of the quality infrastructure capacities in a systemic way. What comprises this Calidena Action Plan? It comprises the development of COCOA standards at regional level that has been initiated, laboratory capacities, metrology, and testing are being addressed through this plan. The capacities to support agro-processors to implement quality management system has been developed. Last but not least, certification services has been strengthened. All this to assure the quality of the Dominican cocoa in national and international markets. I wish you a successful launch event and an interesting and tasteful cocoa exhibition that lamentably I will miss too. Best regards, Alexis Valky.
All right, thank you very much, Dr. Valky. All right, so here you have it. You heard from all the members of the team and how their contributions, what contributions they made to the entire publication. This document, we're hoping will be able to be used by, our extension people or farmers or agro-processors and all stakeholders within the cocoa sector. So we're hoping that it's not just going to be another document to sit on the shelf, but we will be able to use the information that's in there to assist us in our own developmental work here in Dominica. It is my distinct pleasure to, at this moment, invite the Honorable Minister for Agriculture, Fisheries, Blue and Green Economy, Honorable Roland Roy, to give us some remarks at this time. He too is quite experienced with the Calidena format or methodology, and I'm sure he'll be speaking a little bit about that, but we're very happy to have him today to address us on this occasion. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Well, I won't be speaking about Calidena because I've graduated from that. So that's for Mara to take care of. Let me recognize the Honorable Lakia Joseph, my colleague at the ministry, P.S. Ryan Anselm, Mr. Nicholas Esprit, chairperson of the Board of Directors of Dexia, Ms. Paula Plasco, the General Manager of Dexia, Ms. Mara Abraham, Officer in Charge, Dominica Bureau of Standards, Latoya Burnham of CrossQ, yeah. Dr. Ian Lambert, Dr. Alexis Valgue of PTB, Lloyd Pascal, farmers, agro-processors, invited guests, media. Good morning. First, let me apologize for the absence of Dr. Vince Henderson, who is the minister responsible for Foreign Affairs and Trade, who is currently out of state on mission, and his acting minister, Honorable Julian Defoe, my colleague at the ministry, who had to leave state this morning. So they're both out. So I'm left stranded to bat on my own. Yeah. But they extend their best wishes to us here and wishing us a successful launching of this very important publication. So thank you for inviting me to participate in this book launching ceremony and for the opportunity to address you this morning. Given that the Ministry of Agriculture is initiating actions to increase the contribution of Dominica's agricultural sector to GDP to 700 million by the year 2030, the expansion and increased productivity of tree crop subsector have been given priority. At heart of this vision is the strategic development of our cocoa subsector. Cocoa forms part of the ministry's 5Cs Sustainable Crop Development Program. This crop holds significant potential for growth and development due to its geographic suitability and the farmer's technical capacity. If you're wondering what I mean by 5Cs, I'm referring to cocoa, coconuts, coffee, citrus, and cannabis. So colleagues, this book, Promoting Quality in the Cocoa Bean to Tea value chain, is very timely as it provides a blueprint for the sustainable development of cocoa subsector in Dominica. I think it is important that I provide some data on our success thus far as it relates to acreage expansion, because very often we're hearing that we are not planting, we're not expanding, we are not planning. So I'm obliged this morning to just give a few information as it pertains to that. During the period 2019 to 2021, a total of 70 acres of cocoa were rehabilitated. During the period 2019 to 2022, a total of 100,000 plants, which is equivalent to 240 acres, were established. In 2023, 17,000 plants, which is equivalent to 42 acres, were also established. And so far, 2024, we've provided 15,000 plants, which is equivalent to 37 acres. So that gives us an increase in cocoa establishment of 319 acres over the said period among 266 farmers. Cocoa is therefore well placed to assist in meeting national goals as an integrated crop in agricultural production through its entire value chain, as its demand keeps increasing locally, regionally, and internationally. In fact, according to Trading Economics, cocoa was up toward $11,000 per ton, edging closer to a fresh record peak of $12,800. Dealers said the market remained underpinned by supply worries and stronger than expected first quarter grind data for Europe, North America, and Asia. Cocoa prices have rallied sharply since the beginning of the year, jumping over 150%, driven by the worst supply shortage in 40 years in West Africa. So there's space for us in the marketplace. But first, we must meet our local demand. At this point, I would like to commend Dexia for its effort in ensuring that there is a supply of cocoa beans for agro-processors on island, even though it has to be imported from Grenada. But I must also say, through our expansion program, we will achieve self-sufficiency in a few years. We recognize the important role that this crop plays in the agricultural sector, and it contributes to the livelihoods of our farmers and helps to build resilience. We are therefore poised to enhance our agro-processing capabilities and implement more dynamic market strategies, leveraging the unique advantages of our geographically and climatically suitable lands. This publication, which we proudly endorse today, serves as a comprehensive guide for innovation and success, charting a path towards a more prosperous cocoa industry in Dominica. It therefore serves as a best practice of collaboration and inclusive actions. As the Minister of Agriculture and a previous facilitator of the Caledina process and methodology, I'm elated to know that the Value Chain Project, Cocoa for National and Tourism Use and Regional Export from cocoa bean to tea in Dominica project is materializing. I applaud this collaborative work of the project implementing agency, which includes CrossQ, Indocal, PTB, working in conjunction with the Dominica Bureau of Standards, the Dominica Export Agency, the Ministry of Agriculture, and importantly, the farmers and agro-processors. Therefore, on behalf of the government of Dominica, I extend my deepest appreciation to the sponsors, the project implementing support agencies, participating farmers, and agro-processors. We look forward to the growth of the cocoa industry in Dominica and the role it will continue to play in the expansion and development of agro-processing sector. We want to encourage the participation of more farmers and agro-processors to join us in introducing cocoa as an additional commercial commodity. In closing, I would like to once again thank each of you for your unwavering support and commitment to transforming Dominica's agricultural landscape. Together, we are nurturing a sustainable and prosperous future for cocoa industry, enhancing our national economy, and enriching the global market. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Royer, for this very important address and very informative address to us regarding what the ministry's role is and how they continue to play their support or give their support towards the cocoa industry. And he did mention about the fact that we are importing right now, and we will soon be able to reach our level of local supplies for our farmers. We have such demand. I mean, every day people come, people are asking for cocoa. So people call us all the time asking for cocoa beans. And we really want to see the day when we can be back to our local supplies and we don't have to import from Grenada. Because even the flavor, I mean, the flavor that we have from Dominica is so much different. I mean, when it compares to other countries. We have such great flavor. I know I have people in the crowd who can testify of that. We have such great flavor. And I have one colleague of mine whom I see buying cocoa tea every morning. I won't say who it is, but I see him every morning buying his cocoa tea. And I love cocoa tea, and I'm sure most of you love cocoa tea in here. And, you know, so it is something that is very well used here in Dominica and well appreciated. So we have to take care, like the minister said, we have to take care of our own domestic needs and see how we can get back onto our own good winning ways. So thank you very much, Honorable Minister. and we look forward to continue working with the Ministry of Agriculture as a key partner as we move forward with the cocoa sector in Dominica. We're gonna have a special time at this time to do some handing over of some of the publications to some of our key partners. We eventually, all sectors, all the stakeholders will get a copy, but we're not going to do that today. So we're just going to do a presentation of five books today just for this event. But we have a whole lot of them at the office, so everybody will most probably get a copy. All the institutions will most probably get a copy at some point. But to help us do this today, we have our chair, the chairperson for Dexia, sorry, and Mr. Nichols Esprit. He's going to help us in doing the distribution or in the handing over of the cocoa publications. We have, first of all, so yeah, you could come join me up front, yeah, Mr. Esprit. Yeah, that's fine. As long as we can capture you on camera and everything, yeah? We want to make sure you capture you. Oh, sorry, I said 5, it's 6, yeah. Yeah, so make sure you capture Mr. Nichols on the camera. All right. No. Sorry. Oh, sorry, yeah. So the very first handing over of this publication goes to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, International Business, Trade and Energy. Did you get it? You got the camera, yeah. Make sure you get the camera. Make sure you get the photos. All right. Great. So, as we said earlier, the Ministry of Trade is our parent ministry, and we want to ensure that we start, charity begins at home, right? Okay, so we move to the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Blue and Green Economy, Honorable Royer. Thank you. Then we have the Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Blue and Green Economy with special responsibility for agro-processing. So Ms. Lakia Joseph, Honorable Lakia Joseph, she will take that. And as I said earlier, the agro-processing industry is very important to us at Dexia. So we want to make sure that they have a copy of this. One of the agro-processors who is very well known and has her products at the supermarkets, and he's very passionate about producing cocoa sticks on island, Ms. Sharon Dira, and we want to present to her because we really appreciate and we love the passion that she shows. And so, Ms. Dira, thank you for your work with the cocoa industry. And we look forward to you continuing on that path. We also have a presentation to a farmer. He's also a very big leader in the cocoa sector in terms of the acreages that are produced. And he is also a part of the Northeastern Cocoa Farmers Cooperative, and that's Mr. Stuart Paris. He's not here yet. I suspect he's maybe late. But we'll ask the PS of Agriculture, Mr. Anselm, to take this on his behalf. So Mr. Stuart Paris and the Paris Family Farms. Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Anselm, for this. And finally, we have the Dominica State College. We saw the need for doing this because we want to ensure that the students are part of what we're doing, and so we would like to present this to the Dominica State College. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you, Mr. Esprit. Okay, so that concludes our presentation of the books to the various individuals and institutions. And we, like I said earlier, we have copies that are available for all of the other farmers, those you're not left out at all. We have copies, so we'll make your copy available to you, but we couldn't do everything here today in this one event. So we will make sure that we have the copies available to you by the end of the week maybe, or into next week. So, or following this presentation, you could join me at my office. I mean, we have the copies there for some of the farmers and agro-processors, right? So you'll get that. Okay, so we are going to have a vote of thanks at this time, and to do this, I see Jamagro has joined us. Thank you for coming. He's one of our agro-processors as well, one of our clients, doing very well. So we're going to have the vote of thanks at this time, and to do this, the general manager of Dexia, Ms. Paula Platsko. Let's make her welcome as she comes. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Honorable Roland Royer, Minister for Agriculture, Fisheries, Blue and Green Economy. Honorable Lakia Joseph, Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Blue and Green Economy with special responsibility for agro-processing. Mr. Ryan Ansem, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Blue and Green Economy. Mr. Nicholas Esprit, Chairperson, Board of Directors of Dexia. Ms. Mara Abraham, Officer in Charge at the Dominica Bureau of Standards. Mr. Alexis Valqui, International Quality Infrastructure Expert and Consultants for PTB. Ms. Latoya Burnham, Technical Officer, Quality Promotions, CARICOM Regional Organization for Standards and Quality CROSSQ. Dr. Ian Lambert, Project Coordinator, Cocoa Bean to Tea Value Chain. Nkes McShine, Editor of the publication. Representatives of farmer groups, the Dominica State College, agro-processors, manufacturers, invited guests, other stakeholders, welcome. Our presence here today signifies the tremendous results that can be achieved when individuals and organizations collaborate on specific objectives aimed at national development. The cocoa sector still holds great importance to our individual and collective work programs and plays a very pivotal role in improving livelihoods in Dominica. Today, we are indeed grateful for these successes we have had with the Kalidina project and for all the hard work that went into its implementation by all stakeholders. We therefore express our profound thanks to the Almighty God for these successes. Special thanks to the Government of the Commonwealth of Dominica for continued foresight in the agricultural sector and in particular the cocoa sector. We extend thanks to the Minister of Foreign Affairs, International Business, Trade and Energy and his staff for the support provided to the Dominica Export-Import Agency and the Dominica Bureau of Standards throughout the implementation of this project, which has served to improve our quality infrastructure in Dominica. Special thanks must also go to the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Blue and Green Economy, whose staff continue to partner with other stakeholders of the cocoa industry on programs such as the Cocoa Cluster and this value chain exercise that has just concluded. We do look forward to the ministry's support in dealing with the gaps that have been identified, Both the Honorable Roye and Honorable Joseph are very good friends of Dexia and the Bureau of Standards, and we are so honored to have you here with us today. We certainly extend our deepest gratitude to the European Union for providing financial support for the production of this publication. Additionally, partners such as the Dominican Institute for Quality and the German National Meteorology Institute, PTB, must also be thanked for their technical and developmental support. The CARICOM Regional Organization for Standards and Quality continues to play a key role in guiding the work of the region's Bureau of Standards, and we must ask Ms. Burnham to convey our thanks to the entire CROSQ team for the ongoing work in developing cocoa regional standards and codes of practice for our cocoa agro-processors and farmers. We thank Compete Caribbean for funding the Cocoa Cluster project in Dominica, through which 10,000 cocoa plants were distributed to farmers island-wide, and a cocoa financial model was also developed and shared with the stakeholders, including the Ministry of Agriculture, all in an effort to develop the cocoa sector in Dominica. Our chairperson and members of Dexia's Board of Directors, thank you for being present with us today. This event would not have been possible without the insight, initiative, and contributions of some key persons, namely Dr. Alexis Valque, Dr. Ian Lambert, Ms. Nikiez McShine, Ms. Mara Abraham, Mr. Lloyd Pascal. So to you, we say a huge thank you for your contributions to the cocoa sector. Finally, let me say thank you to all the other stakeholders who continue to be creative and produce cocoa in a wonderful way with its byproducts that we all enjoy. People such as Mr. Stuart Paris, Ms. Sharon Dura, the Dominica State College, the staff of the Ministries of Agriculture and Trade, and staff of Dexia, particularly Mrs. Roll, for her meticulous interventions to ensure that we have had a quality event today. Our local and regional partners, to the media and to Multi-Solutions for your presence here as you help us to disseminate this information, we say a big thank you.
All right, thank you very much, and we say thank you to Ms. Plasko as well for giving us the vote of thanks. But before we conclude this event, we would like, well, as we concluding, we would like you to view. Don't go, just leave and go straight out. We want you to see some of the items that we have on display and just have an appreciation for what the value chain really consists of. As we said, it's from bean to tea. Sorry? Oh, yeah. I was coming to that. Yeah, so that's also very important. We have a tasting exercise here, and taste test, as it were, from Valos wines and punches. So we will not forget that. I will not forget that. So so before you leave, make sure you taste some of the Valos wines and punches, and with a particular cocoa flavor. Because everything here today is about cocoa, all right? At least most of them. So make sure you taste that before you leave, and as I said, have an appreciation of all the other items that are produced. We have some soaps, we have, the cocoa powders, we have the sticks, and all of that. So make sure you have a look at that before you leave. And we also have some snacks. So the snacks are also prepared with a cocoa flavor, cocoa in mind. And my partner, you have your cocoa tea as well. So Dora, you all know, the person know who I'm talking to, right? So we have cocoa tea for everybody. We also have some items that are made with a cocoa flavor. So you'll enjoy that. Okay, so thank you very much for coming. Let me just thank every one of you for taking the time off to be part of this event. And again, I'd like you to put your hands together for all of the contributors to this book launch. And we are very, very happy that we have concluded this exercise at this point. So thank you again and enjoy the presentations. Thank you.